Yeah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق وسيد المرسلين النبي المختار محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم، وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته, dear brothers and sisters, مؤمنين ومؤمنات. Inshallah, you are all doing well on this Wednesday night, or Tuesday night, Wednesday, going on to Wednesday. As you know, in this week we had a few events. One of them, of course, being the birth of the father of our Imam, Al-Hujjat al-Hasan al-Askari, our 11th Imam, Imam al-Hasan al-Askari alayhi salam. There's two riwayas, one for the 8th and another for the 10th, and today's the 9th, so we're in between both. Also on this week in Islamic history, Al-Mukhtar al-Thaqafi, he went out to start his Tawrah in this week as well, based on one riwayah, and as well there's a riwayah for the passing of a Sayyida Ma'suma bint Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam, who was buried in the holy city of Qum. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to visit all three of these holy personalities and these great examples for us in this day and age. Inshallah, we will start our Dua Tawasul program with the short recitation of Quran. But before that, with the blessing of Allah, salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والسماء والطارق وما أدراك ما الطارق النجم الثاقب إن كل نفس لما عليها حافظ فلينظر الإنسان مما خلق من ماء دافق يخرج من بين الصلب والترائب إنه على رجعه لقادر يوم تبلى السرائر فما له من قوة ولا ناصر والسماء ذات الرجع والأرض ذات الصدع إنه لقول فصل وما هو بالهزل إنهم يكيدون كيدا وأكيد كيدا فمهل الكافرين أمهلهم رويدا. آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجه. Up next, I would like to invite our very respected scholar, Samahat Sayyid Muhammad al-Mudarrisi, to present his talk with the very loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، ثم الصلاة والسلام على خاتم أنبياء الله وسيد المرسلين المصطفى الأمين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم محمد، وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين الغر الميامين، لا سيما بقية الله في الأراضين، مهدي هذه الأمة وطاووس أهل الجنة الحجة بن الحسن العسكري، روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. قال الله العظيم في محكم كتابه الكريم: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وضرب الله مثلا للذين آمنوا امرأة فرعون إذ قالت رب ابن لي عندك بيتا في الجنة ونجني من فرعون وعمله ونجني من القوم الظالمين. آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil faraj. One of the ladies of heaven, a great example for all mu'mineen and mu'minat, is Sayyidah Fatima al-Ma'sumah alayhi salam. This great lady that relatively lived a short life, like her mother Fatima al-Zahra salawatullahi wa salamu alayha, of course, wasn't from the 14 infallibles, but a great example for devotion, for piety, for every woman and every man, and a great example that a person that it's not infallible by the great infallible, that it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, can still reach some levels. And as an example for that, sometimes you see that a person is very pious, and what his knowledge makes him stop or prevents him actually from sinning. So you see, when a person, as an example, a doctor, knows that for sure if he does this thing, he will be infected by a certain type of deadly disease. So he will definitely stop, and this knowledge of his will prevent him from doing that thing that can cause him harm. So if a person is reached that certainty and that knowledge that by sinning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish him, and if he truly knows Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that will prevent him from sinning. So we call that Asma al-Sughra as an example, like two of our greatest scholars are Sayyid al-Murtada and Sharif al-Radi. Brothers. Sharif al-Radi is of course famous by the gathering of the most eloquent speeches and letters and maxims of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullahi wa salam alayhi, and compiling it in a book called Nahj al-Balagha, the way of eloquency, the path of eloquency. So Sharif al-Radi had a dispute with his brother in regard of inheritance. And of course, wasn't on a piece of land or some kind of like liquidity or like money or gold or whatever. No, it was over a book, because they were both male and they were inheriting their father equally. So everyone divided that until they reached just one book. So they count like cut the book in half. So what they did, so they said, whoever is better in a way can acquire that book. So they said, okay, what is like one brother told the other, what are you thinking? Said, whoever never sinned, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can take that book. So both their hands went for the book. Said, okay. One of them said, then, okay, then whoever never thought of committing a sin should take that book. So one of them took that book. So his knowledge prevented him. Sayyidah Fatima Masuma, salamullah alayha, was a knowledgeable lady. They called her muhadditha as well. And of course, she was the daughter of Imam, the aunt of Imam, and of course, a sister of Imam Ali ibn Musa al-Rida, alayhi alaf al-tahiyyati wa azka as-salam. And she was in the care of Imam Rida for a very long time because her father was martyred when she was young. But even in her young age and tender age, when people visited Medina al-Munawwar, Medina to Rasulillah, in order to visit her father, Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam, and Imam was absent, was outside the Medina. So they had questions, they had letters. So they knocked on the door and they told them that, yes, the Imam is absent. And of course, they didn't know when he will be back. So Fatima al-Ma'suma, she asked them that, what do they want? Said, we have these questions that will be unanswered and we have to go back to our cities and our people with answers, of course. And she told them, give me those. And she wrote the answers of those questions. So when they were going back, they happened to meet Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam on their way back. Imam was going back to Medina and they were leaving. So they told Imam Kadhim what happened, and Imam Kadhim told them to present Sayyidah Ma'suma's answer to their questions. So then when he starts reading the answers, starts saying, Fidaha abuha, Fidaha abuha, Fidaha abuha. May her father be ransomed for her. May her father be sacrificed for her. And of course, the same thing that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Muhammad, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, said about Fatima al-Zahra, salawatullahi wa salamu alayha. And you see here, it shows she wasn't an ordinary woman, of course. She was with great knowledge, who is different between others of the daughters and sons of Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam by being from the same mother, Sayyidah Tuqta, Sayyidah Najma, and another name for the mother of Imam Rida, and Sayyidah Fatima al-Ma'suma. And she was like Sayyidah Zainab was to Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas, and Imam Hussein, she was to her brother Imam Rida alayhi salam. One of the things that she narrated to the people and the knowledge that she spread, we can notably notice something, that she narrated a lot of narration in regards of wilayah, the loyalty, the fellowship, the love of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And a beautiful riwayah, which reminds me of a riwayah of al-Hasan ibn al-Hasan ibn al-Hasan ibn al-Hasan, Ahsan al-Hasan, al-Khulq al-Hasan, that all the Hasans, that chain of beautiful riwayah. This riwayah, I call it the riwayah al-Fatimiyya, which is, she says, the riwayah is An Fatimah bint Ali ibn Musa al-Rida, An Fatimah wa Zainab wa Kulthum banati Musa ibn Ja'far, Fatima al-Ma'suma being one of them. قلنا, they said, حدثتنا فاطمة بنت جعفر ابن محمد الصادق عليه السلام. That's Fatima, the daughter of Imam al-Sadiq. And you notice here in all the houses of Imams, salawatullahi wa salam alayhi, made sure that to have the name of Fatima. There's a barakah, there's a blessing gonna come to a house that have the name of Fatima salawatullah wasalam alayha. عن حدثتنا فاطمة بن جعفر بن محمد الصادق حدثتني فاطمة بنت محمد بن علي تدور في الإمام الباقر حدثتني فاطمة بنت علي بن الحسين تدور في الإمام السجاد فاطمة وسكينة ابنتا الحسين بن علي حدثتني فاطمة وسكينة ابنتا الحسين بن علي تدور في إمام الحسين عليه السلام عن أم كلثوم بنت فاطمة بنت النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. That from Kulthum and the narration that says Zainab as well, she was like Fatima عليه السلام بنت فاطمة بنت النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم قالت أنسيتم قول رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم يوم الغدير. Did you forget the narration of the narration of Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم, the day of Ghadir, من كنت مولاه فهذا علي مولاه وقوله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم أنت مني بمنزلة هارون من موسى. Did you forget what Rasulullah said to the people? You are to me like Moses, like Harun, Aaron is to Moses. And of course, another hadith which is in that same way, again, hadith Fatimi from the Fatima بنت علي بن موسى الرضا حدثتني فاطمة وزينب وأم كلثوم بنات موسى بن جعفر قلنا حدثتنا فاطمة بنت جعفر بن محمد عليهما السلام قالت حدثتني فاطمة بنت محمد بن علي عليه السلام قالت حدثتني فاطمة بنت علي بن الحسين عليه السلام حدثتني فاطمة وسكينة ابنة الحسين عليه السلام عن أم كلثوم بنت علي عليه السلام عن فاطمة بنت محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم سمعت رسول الله يقول لما أسري بي إلى السماء دخلت الجنة. When I went to heaven, I entered the Jannah. فإذا أنا بقصر من درة بيضاء. I see a big palace like from white pearl. مجوفة وعليها باب مكلل بالدرر والياقوت وعلى الباب ستر فرفعت رأسي فإذا مكتوب على الباب. There was writing on that gate of that palace لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم علي ولي الله. وإذا مكتوب على الستر, that was writing on the that veil, that curtain, so to speak, بخن بخن من مثل شيعة علي صلوات الله وسلام عليه. That is talking about who are, there's no like the followers and the true Shia of Ali alayhi salam. And Fatima al-Ma'suma salamullah alayha, when she was 28 years of age, she went with 4 people. There was 2 caravans, separated caravan. One was with Sayyid Ahmad, the brother of Imam Rida alayhi salam, famously known by Shah Chiragh, that is buried and has a shrine in the city of Shiraz, and other brothers of Imam. And there was another caravan who went from different way, from a city called Sawa, to visit the Imam Ali ibn Musa alayhi salam, to join their Imam. And of course, Fatima al-Ma'suma, being a devoted and a good sister to her brother Imam Rida alayhi salam, she answered the call of Imam Rida, and she was going to meet up with Imam Rida. But they say the people of Sawa, there's a great scholar by the name of Sayyid Ja'far Murtada al-Amili, Radwanullah ta'ala alayh. He's a researcher who, in his book, I think, Imam Rida and Imam Rida was Siyasa, something, السياسة للإمام رضا, that الحياة السياسية للإمام رضا, actually, the political life of Imam Rida alayhi salam. He says that in that city she was poisoned. So when she fell ill, and they of course attacked their caravan, and they killed the man in that caravan, and she was poisoned. And she asked someone, is there any other city that we can seek refuge in? And they say, yes, there's like 50 kilometers is from the city of Qum, 10 farsakh as they put it, we can go to that city. So she went there, and the people of the Qum, being majority people follow Ahlul Bayt, people who loved Ahlul Bayt salawatullah salam alayhim ajma'in, they came to greet her. And Musa ibn Khazraj, he took the leashes of her mount and took her to his place and devoted that place just for her to worship. She just stayed in that city for 17 days. Salamullah alayha. Even that place, that house that she prayed in and that she worshipped in, and she received people in while she was in the city of Qom before her passing away, it was still exists and called Baytun Nur, if I'm not mistaken. And they even established by Sayyid Gulpaigani Hawza called the Sayyidiyya in the same place. A lot of Maraja, a lot of great scholars like Sayyid Mar'ash al-Najafi, Shahab al-Din Mar'ash al-Najafi. His father, Sayyid Mahmud al-Mar'ash al-Najafi, he saw in a true dream Ahl al-Bayt, I don't recall who, to be specific, specifically who, maybe Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he was looking for the grave site of Fatima salawatullah wa sallam alayhi, Fatima az-Zahra bint Rasulullah, and he asked him to where is the grave site of Rasulullah, said of Fatima az-Zahra, and I said, don't ask about this. This is something that is hidden for a reason. And but instead, you can go visit Fatima al-Ma'suma salamullah alayha, and it will be like you're visiting Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam. And she is one of the few Ma'sumin that has a ziyarah for herself. Of course, with her status, with her maqam, there's a special ziyarah just for her. And of course, we can say that there is a ziyarah for a non-ma'sumin as well, and who are the ashab of Imam al-Hussein salawatullahi wa salam alayh, which are the best of ashab. So, but there's a special ziyarah for Fatima al-Ma'sum alayhi salam by Imam al-Jawad salawatullahi wa salam alayh, is narrated by Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam. And Imam al-Rida salawatullahi wa salam alayh says to a person called Sa'ad, Ya Sa'ad, عندكم لنا قبر. She died in a city alone, of course, alone, not surrounded by her brothers. So Imam al-Rida was alive in Maru in Khurasan, and he heard the news of his sister, his dear sister, passing away. So he said to a person called Sa'ad, who was from Qom, Imam Rida, Sa'ad told him that, do you have a grave of us in Qom? Sa'ad says, of course, knowing Qabru Fatima bint Musa, says, yes. Man zaraha, whoever visited her, عارفا بحقها, who truly know her, who truly know her rights. فله الجنة. Allahu Akbar. Whoever truly knows the status, and you can't know the status of those people but by elevating yourself to their maqam and being a truly knowledgeable of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's religion. And of course, there's a narration from Imam Rida, Man zara ma'suma biqum, that is like he visited me. So what is the thawab of ziyarat Imam Rida? You have to know that first, to know the status of Sayyidah Fatima al-Ma'suma. So the ziyarat Imam Rida, it's narrated by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم ستدفن بضعة مني بأرض خراسان. A part of me will be buried in Khurasan. لا يزورها مؤمن إلا أوجب الله تعالى له الجنة. No mu'min visits him, but to get the pass to heaven. وحرب جسده على النار, and his body will be haram, will be forbidden in hellfire. And Imam Rida salawatullahi wa salam alayhi, knowing the status of his sister salawatullahi wa salam alayha, he narrated these hadith so that people not just visit her, be a mu'min who visit her, and be a person who knows the status of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. And that is through knowledge, through iman, and through truly following Ahlul Bayt salawatullahi wa salam alayhim ajma'in. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us and extend our life and give us the opportunity again to visit the shrine of Karima to Ahlul Bayt. You know, one of the titles of Sayyidah Fatima al-Ma'suma is Karima to Ahlul Bayt. Karima, and we have, subhanAllah, way too many stories to even mention. But here, just one from Sayyid Shahabuddin Marashid Najafi, which he was a resident of Najaf, of course, from his name. You can know that. And when they came to Qom, they faced a lot of hardship. And one day, him being a very pious man and didn't have much money and just was always studying and teaching, some people came to marry and to ask his daughter hand in marriage. And as it's custom in Iran and in India probably, and in Afghanistan probably as well, that some of the dowry, they give something as a help to the groom to start off their lives. Of course, that's not the case in a lot of Arab countries, and he didn't have anything. So he went to Fatima al-Ma'suma and told her that, Sayyidah Fatima al-Ma'suma, I am your guest here, and you're not giving me anything. So he saw her in a dream, and even he mentions that she wasn't wearing hijab from him, being Sayyid and relative of Fatima al-Ma'suma alayhi salam. So she told him that that's how you, I'm paraphrasing, that's how you speak to me. That's not the way. And he apologized immediately. And she said, we will take care of you. We've been taking care of you since you arrived in Qom. We know about you. So immediately when he got up, they used to shut down the harams. And immediately when he got up, he went to the ziyarah of Sayyidah Ma'suma before they opened up the doors of haram. And he went inside and apologized to Fatima Ma'suma. And while he was sitting, someone came and gave him an envelope, as he said. And this been narrated by his students, his immediate students. So said that he said Marashid Najafi himself told me this story. So then he this person gave him an envelope, told him, this is for you, Sayyid. This is not khumus, this is not zakat. No, this is just hadiyah, a gift to you, just a gift. And he said that I put that in my pockets and went and told my wife, okay, what do you need? For example, like a bed. And he took from that pocket without seeing what's in the pockets and how much is in that pocket. The confidence he had in Fatima al-Ma'suma salamullah alayha. And he started giving and giving until she said, everything is now ready. And he then opened the envelope and it was gone. And it was enough for all that his daughter needed. So after that, of course, for decades and decades, Sayyid Mar'ash al-Najafi was the first person who is standing behind the door of Fatima al-Ma'suma at the dawn, doesn't matter if it's winter or summer, if it's cold or hot, at that door to pray his salat al-subh at that place. Inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the opportunity to visit Fatima al-Ma'suma alayhi salam and to truly follow Ahlul Bayt salawatullahi wa salam alayhim ajma'in, and to receive her intercession and shafa'ah in the hereafter. There is a request I have from brothers and sisters that there is a baby, there is a child in need of our dua. And there are many people who are sick and in hospitals, and we raise our hands and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the Fatima al-Ma'suma's name, salawatullahi wa salam alayhi, and by the ayah al-Mubarakah, to grant them a full recovery, and to grant them back their health, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء 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 أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعجل فرجه.
محمد وعلى محمد وعجل فرجه. يا كريم. Thank you very much to Samahat Sayyid Muhammad al-Mudarrisi for that enlightening talk. Indeed, inshallah, we are blessed with the opportunity to visit the Sayyida Ma'suma in the holy city of Qom, inshallah, and to have her shafa'ah in the akhirah, inshallah. Up next, we will now have the opportunity to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to ask our Imam Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam for the shafa'ah through dua tawassul with the blessing of Allah. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil fajr.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إني أسألك وأتوجه إليك بنبيك نبي الرحمة محمد صلى الله عليه وآله يا أبا القاسم يا رسول الله يا إمام الرحمن يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا يا أبا الحسن يا أمين المؤمنين يا علي بن أبي طالب يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها من عند الله اشفع لنا يا فاطمة الزهراء يا بنت محمد يا قرة عين الرسول يا سيدتنا ومولاتنا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيهة عند الله اشفي لنا يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها المجتبى يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله يا أبا عبد الله يا حسين بن علي أيها الشهيد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا يا أبا الحسن يا علي يا ابن الحسين يا زين العابدين يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها الباقر يا ابن رسول الله يا وجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها من ذا الله اشفع لنا يا أبا عبد الله يا جعفر بن محمد أيها الصادق يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا يا أبا الحسن يا موسى بن جعفر أيها الكاظم يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه إن شاء الله به همین زودی تو نروش کنار قبر مطهرش کاظمین علیهم السلام اونجا عرض ادب کنیم اونجا دست به شبکه‌های زرین مطهر و سر بگذاریم بگیم السلام علی المهذب فی دار السجود و ظلم المطامیر ذا الساق المردود بلغ القيود والجنازة المنادى عليها بذل الاستغفار والوارد على جد المصطفى وعلى أبيه المرتضى وعلى جدته فاطمة الزهراء منتظر بودن آقا را آزاد کنن یه وقت دیدن در زندان باز شد نازنین بدنش رو تخت پاره‌ای بیرون اومد یکی جلو جنازه صدا میزنه هذا امام الرفضه هذا امام الرفضه گویا این رسم از کربلا و کوفه و شام باقی مانده بود یه نفر جلو سرای به نیزه زده شده میدوید سر بریده ابی عبدالله رو نشون مردم میداد این صدا میزدی سر خارجی حسین حسین جانم خدایا به موسی بن جعفر علیه السلام فرج امام زمانمون برسان یا ابا الحسن یا موسی بن جعفر ایها الکاظم یا ابن رسول الله یا حجة الله علی خلقه یا سیدنا و مولانا انا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك الى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا يا أبا الحسن يا علي يا ابن موسى أيها الرضا يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها التقي الجواد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا يا أبا الحسن يا علي يا ابن محمد أيها الهادي النبي يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها الزكي العسكري يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا يا وصي الإحسان والخلف الهجة أيها القائم المنتظر المهدي يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا يا وجيها يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد يا سادتي وموالي إني توجهت بكم همتي وعدتي ليوم فقري وحاجتي إلى الله وتوسلت بكم إلى الله واستشفعت بكم إلى الله فاشفعوا لي عند الله واستنقذوني من ذنوبي عند الله فإنكم وسيلتي إلى الله وبحبكم وبقربكم أرجو نجاة من الله فكونوا عند الله رجائي يا سادتي يا أولياء الله صلى الله عليهم أجمعين ولعن الله أعداء الله الظالمين من الأولين والآخرين آمين رب العالمين
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all your a'mal, inshallah. Inshallah, on this holy night for us to have our shafa'a accepted by Muhammad and Muhammad alayhi salam. Inshallah, we will ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the hastening of the appearance of our master, Sahib al-Asr al-Zaman, and conclude the program. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم والعن عدوهم يا كريم. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا وهب لنا من رأفته ورحمته ودعاءه وخيره يا أرحم الراحمين. وصل يا رب على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from all of you, and inshallah, dear brothers and sisters, we will see you on Thursday for our Dua Coin program, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.